Hi everyone, welcome to Homerino Collectibles, where today I'm going to be reviewing the Mighty Thor from the Marvel Legends Marvel 80 Years Wave. These figures do retail slightly more than regular Marvel Legends. You can see that they are in a slightly nicer box here, and they have a bit more detail on them. They are just a tiny little bit more expensive, just like the 10 years MCU stuff that we got recently as well. They are totally worth that, and if you want to get Marvel Legends for yourself, you can do so at Big Bad Toy Store. There's a link in the description below. Now look at this awesome box. We have the really nice classic Alex Ross art on the side there. Really nice design on the back. And a little passage that reads, "A mighty Asgardian. Thor is the god of thunder and son of Odin, king of the Asgardians. He wields the hammer Mjolnir and has the power to call lightning from the heavens to strike down his enemies." Really nice look to the packaging. I definitely do prefer this over the slightly more rounded Marvel Legends boxes we usually get. And as you saw from the thumbnail, I will be comparing this guy to some older Toy Biz classic Thors, the other two ones that we have gotten from Marvel Legends. So you can see for yourself which one you prefer, which one you might want to pick up, or if you have those, if this guy is worth it or not. So let's get this guy out of the packaging and take a closer look. And here's Thor out of the packaging, accompanied by the previous two Toy Biz versions of the classic costume version of Thor. We've got quite a few Thor figures recently. We had the Return of Marvel Legends Thor in 2012, and then we had the Marvel Now one, then we've had the various movie ones as well, amongst others. But here are the only two other actual classic costume Thors. So those are the ones that I just mentioned were Hasbro ones. These two ones right here are the Toy Biz ones. So this 80th anniversary of Marvel version is the only Hasbro full-on classic Thor. That obviously means these guys aren't on shop shelves anymore. This one on the left was 2002 Series 3 Toy Biz. This one on the right was the Giant Man Build-A-Figure series, where you had the actual big Giant Man. That was 2006. So, and this one, I do have the hammer. I actually have two versions of these. I think the hammer is with the other one, which is in a box. This is just the one that I had out on display. So this guy stands 7.5 inches tall to the top of the wings on the helmet, and just over 7 inches to the top of the helmet itself. If we compare it to the 2002 Series 3 version, you can see that that older one was a bit taller, but the older one is clearly the weakest link out of this lineup. The circles on his torso are blue, unlike the others, and they do actually have a little bit of silver dry brushing on them, which is nice. But other than that, they are mostly the same figure, really, just, with different degrees of quality. This one, I mean, look at the shading on the face. That is kind of ridiculous. The hands are giant. In fact, the entire arms are just huge. These things could be used for a Hulk figure, let alone a Thor figure. These knee pad armor parts here are absolutely giant. Lots of paintwork being done on this figure, but not necessarily nice paintwork. Lots of shading and everything, but in general, just not all that great. I do love the metal look on the helmet, though. That looks really fantastic. The wings are actually a pearly white with a silver trim to them, which is really good. And but in general, he's just really big, really wide. I mean, look at that cape. That is just insanely wide. He just kind of looks a bit bulky, a bit derpy, but he's really nice because he was the first ever Marvel Legends Thor. So it is something that I think that if you're a Marvel Legends collector, you should try and track down. You can get very cheap. So he's an option. He's a good option if you like the, original aesthetics of Marvel Legends and kind of the weird, creepy, cringy look that they have. I find really attractive. So I love that figure. But moving on to this one, it is a massive upgrade. I mean, look at what 4 years did to Thor. This thing is incredible. We do have the inscription there on the hammer, but it is not in our language. It is in, I guess, Norse, or what I don't know what the language would be. But the hammer does look really nice. And so does the rest of Thor. The head sculpt there, that's a really clean, awesome looking head sculpt. The cape is flowing to one side. It's really intricate and detailed. We do have much more prominent straps down here. And overall, he just looks like he came straight out of the comic book. Has a very nice leather detail to all of the clothes, really, but all that black is really nice. And it's just a fantastically done figure, albeit a little bit of a smaller one. He's kind of your regular Marvel Legends scale. The Giant Man Wave Thor looks amazing, and I love that wave as well. The Build-A-Figure is awesome, and this figure is a great one for any Thor fan, and if you're a Marvel Legends completionist or something, it's definitely one that you're going to want to pick up. But now for the main event. This guy right here is definitely the best out of them all, and it's the one that is still on shop shelves. So if you want to get these, you can get them for very reasonable prices on eBay, but if you don't like doing that, this Thor is a very, very good one. This one does have the inscription in English on the hammer right there. Look at that. And it reads, "Whoever holds this hammer, if he be worthy, shall possess the power of Thor." Very nice, and as you can see, it's a very short handle there, very short grip. And then you've got that nice long strap there, which you can put around that hand. Now, in the left hand, we have this open hand, so you can use it as like a flying hand, or, he's getting ready to throw his hammer. So he's got, this hand maybe back like this, and this hand forward. He's getting ready to throw. If you don't want that, or those different options, you do actually have a regular fist that you can put in to replace it. Now, you only do get that one for the left side. The right hand has to be for holding the hammer, and that is it. Down here, those straps look incredible. We do have these molded parts on, just like we had in the 2006 version, but they are painted gold. We have the yellow belt and the gold painted T in the center. Everything is just perfectly scaled. I think that the entire figure is absolutely perfect. The cape is amazing. It flows really, really nicely. It is actually attached to the shoulders, so you don't have the peg in the back, which means the cape is permanently attached, and it also means it doesn't stick out too far back from the figure. He is still back heavy. Obviously, having a cape like this, he's still going to be back heavy, just like all of these figures are, but as you can see, all of them do stand very, very easily. Now, zooming in on this face sculpt, look how awesome and clean that is. The hair is a really, really nice light blonde, and we do have a bit of a white touch in there as well for some shading. The feathers up here are a silvery kind of pearly white. They're all one color, and they are slightly different to that helmet piece there. Very, very nice, and as you can see, mine are done perfectly. Some people's might be warped and bent outwards or inwards or whatever. Mine are absolutely perfect, and I love that. As you can see, this guy's really warped, and this guy is a tiny bit warped, but it looks perfectly fine. But this one, really, really nice. I love the angle of the wings. I love the shape of them. I love the color. Everything. The articulation for this guy is also really good. Now, the head does suffer, but I mean, it's a character with long hair and really big, a cape and everything. It's not going to be great. So he can turn left and right a little bit, and up and down a little bit. He can move a little bit more than what I am showing you, but if you pull too hard, you will just pop the head off, and really, you can't get that much movement out of it. But you can't out of these other Thors anyway, so who cares too much? Right? But the shoulders, because of how much the cape moves out of the way, you can move them all the way up and rotate them all the way around. As you can see, you can rotate the upper part of the arm. You have a double jointed elbow, which actually moves more than 90, which is really, really amazing, because normally with a figure of this size, you wouldn't have that much movement, so I'm really glad that you can. You have these bracelets here, which actually are separate pieces. If you don't want them, you can take them off. So the hands rotate, and they pivot in and out as well. We have two torso movements up here, so we do actually have just a regular swivel there at the waist, and we also have the diaphragm movement, so you can swivel a bit left and right, so you can have a more lifelike look. You can turn it a bit there and turn it a bit there, which is really nice. Also, obviously, you've got your crunch in there, which works really well. And also, you can pivot as well, side to side from that. So he's got lots of movement in that torso. Legs come out all the way to the side, forward and back a little bit. As you can see, as you start moving it right to the top, it does come out a little bit. It's strange to be getting something like that, but the look here is definitely what they were going for, and the size of those thighs and everything, as opposed to articulation. And you don't really need to get the thigh further up than that anyway. And obviously you do have the rotation there, so you can bring the leg back to kind of center as well. So it's perfectly fine. Obviously, like I said, you got the rotation. Because of all the sculpting work here for the muscles and everything, as you rotate, it does look a bit more ugly, but I'm really getting a very Toy Biz vibe from these legs. We do have the double jointed knees in there, rotation at the boots, the feet move up and down, and we have an awesome ankle pivot there as well. And obviously, we do have peg holes in the feet, just like always with Marvel Legends. So if he is a bit back heavy with a cape, who cares? Whack him on a stand. This guy looks incredible. I love the two figures that are standing behind him. So I would say the best one is obviously the new one. I would 100% recommend that you pick this figure up. You can get it right now from a lot of places. Just go and do it. It's amazing. I would 100% recommend that you pick this guy up and this one because this was the first one. This one is the one that you can pass on. If you already have this guy, I would say you don't necessarily need this one, but it is a nice upgrade. So if you have the money for it, go ahead and pick it up. And obviously he stands taller and everything. He's just upgraded over this in every way, but this still looks really amazing. It's really clean and it works so well. So that's what I think, but let me know what you think in the description below. Thanks for watching, guys. If you enjoyed the video, go ahead and give it a like. If you want to see more from me, check out the videos that are on screen right now and check out the links that are in the description below. For more Marvel Legends videos, go ahead and subscribe. Thanks for watching, guys, and I will see you next time.